So for this bonus objective, I decided to once again return to the realm of Jim Wynorski, a creator of many B movies in the 80s, and crappy Dove Foundation flicks for the present day. I made a poll to ask which of his works you wanted me to look at, and I'm disappointed with all of you for not picking the Sharkansas Women's Prison Massacre. I was really curious about what the hell that's even about. Yes, obviously, but whatever. Gotta give the people what they want. Curse of the Komodo has the most votes, so that's what we're going to do. Finding info on straight-to-video movies is hard even with the internet, and most of the nuggets I do find aren't worth talking about. By now, you know that Wynorski was at his best early in his career, with the 1986 Chopping Mall probably being his most recognizable work. Curse of the Komodo isn't done at that artistic peak. It was released in 2004. And of the actors working on this film, I spot two of them who worked with Wynorski in later projects. Paul Logan would appear in some Doggone movies, and he's joined once by John Richardson, who also acted in Nessie and Me. After these two, these are mostly people I either don't know about, or maybe forgot, or just don't care enough. But let's not linger on that. Time to dispel this curse of the Komodo. We open on some island, and already this looks more impressive than the Doggone movies due to it actually having good lighting. There we see military personnel hunting for something in the jungle. I'll give you 3 guesses as to what that is.
What's that behind the tree?
Must be whatever monster is hidden within the mist. Thankfully, 2 other soldiers hear the gunfire and they go outside the invisible electric fence to find out what's going on. They find one injured guy and...
It's coming back. We gotta get out of here. What about him?
So, are they the bad guys? Good guys? Still not sure what's going on. Those 2 then run back to the house they came from, meaning they risked their lives for nothing, and the creature is heading toward them. So, that's the Komodo dragon of the movie, huh? I guess its curse just makes it super large.
What happened? What was that?
Ask your father.
And I'm guessing we'll get a rain check on that as we cut to the Pearl Harbor Naval Command. We're introduced to 2 key characters, Nathan and Dawn. They learn from their superior, Foster, played by John Richardson, about a military experiment gone wrong.
Project Catalyst was designed to grow food.
Grow food. Project Catalyst was brought on board 10 years ago as a potential weapon. The U.S. military is not in the business of feeding people.
Again, if the creature was only genetically altered, why would this even be called Curse of the Komodo? But yeah, typical government cover-up to hide its ineptitude. So Nathan and Dawn now have to get over to the island to destroy any research and evidence there. We then cut over to a casino where the receptionist, named Tiffany, is dealing with an asshole and his Karen friend.
To a suite. Okay, ma'am, I understand that, but we have no rooms available at the moment.
This is bullshit. Get the manager on the phone right now.
I am the manager. Ooh. Actually, it turns out she's part of a group that's trying to rob the place. And helping them is Paul Logan's character, Drake.
You said my name. In front of a witness. I told you not to do that.
I won't say anything.
I appreciate that.
Well, excuse me for stating your name. Even in a serious action film, lines like this feel rather silly. They get away rather easily with the choppa, but dude, I don't think you should be sticking that in your pants like that. You'll shoot your dick off. They then have trouble navigating the stormy weather, but before we know what happens to them, we cut back over to Nathan and Dawn. They learn about the effect of this storm on the electric gate that's on the island.
I hope we don't have high winds tonight. If one of these trees comes down on that fence line, we're screwed.
Well, you better knock on wood. Of course, away from the power lines. The robbers finally touch down, but surprise, surprise, they are on the island with the Komodos. They now need to fix the helicopter before they can take off again. Meanwhile, Nathan is upset that Dawn is heading off into the island with a female colleague, Rebecca, I believe, and he's worried about them becoming Komodo chow during the day, even when those animals only hunt at night. So far, it seems all they're doing is sneaking around until A, they run into each other, or B, run into one of the Komodos. Yeah, these establishing shots make it look nicer than the Doggone movies, but I would like to see a little more action in this movie about killer Komodos. What is not appreciated is seeing Rebecca swimming by a waterfall. That's, quite an untanned butt you have there. Anything else to see? Oh, yep. That's a censor bar for you. I can't believe there's not safe for work content in my Jim Wynorski movie. The same guy who said that breasts are the cheapest special effect in the business. So while Rebecca is doing that, Dawn is doing all the work by collecting samples from the lake. This Komodo seems to be awakened to Rebecca playing around, but she leaves after getting dressed. Nathan is also radioing in to tell the two women about the effects of the growth serum, but the interference is messing with his signal. As for that one guy who drove the ladies out here, he's been infected with the Komodo virus! So yeah, him scratching his arm last night was a sign of infection. But you really mean to tell me that the Komodo's poison turns people into zombies? My suspension of disbelief can only go so far. Anyway, the girls and Nathan reunite, and we learn that this serum causes the Komodos to eat more often. They're likely the next meal, since there aren't any more animals on the island. The robbers are still irrelevant to the plot, and we only have an hour to go to figure out why they're in this story. Nathan's group then finds Jason, who might look like a zombie but is just dead. But now, it's time for a daytime Komodo. Well, it's not any worse than Nessie, or any of those flying scenes from Doggone Adventure. The main group fires on the Komodo, which does no damage. The gunfire then attracts the robbers to the location, but one of Drake's men gets what I think is probably saliva from the Komodo, meaning he's likely infected too. This causes the helicopter guy to freak out and make a break for it, even though I thought he was with them. Guess not. He does actually go back to help the group out, and Hansen arrives to add another gun to the mix. With all this gunfire, all that can be said is,
try it 8 more times, maybe it'll work.
Drake's group thinks of stealing a nearby truck, but they're still in awe over how massive this creature is. At least they're nice enough to wait for everyone to realize that guns are useless, so they should leave. Besides, the Komodo only wants the dead guy, since you need to finish what you poisoned. What did I just say about guns being useless here? Either that or they're not aiming for the mouth. It's constantly open. Shoot at the soft fleshy bits. Well, damn, I'm not running for that long. I'm done.
I thought they were extinct.
That's not a dinosaur.
No crap! Anyway, they all gather at the house, where Drake gives a cover story about his team being from a reality TV show. With guns. Sure. The reason that this Komodo was out was because...
That was an anomaly.
There's just too many humans in its territory today. Guess it woke up.
And how convenient that it's the only one left. Yes, it turns out that this monster ate the other Komodos to survive. But I'm guessing Wynorski's budget isn't big enough for more of them. Either way, it sounds like Foster won't send a rescue team right away.
Well, all my crews are out on storm cleanup, you know.
Look, how soon can you get us out of here?
Sunrise tomorrow.
That's ridiculous, and you know it.
It's the best I can do, Phipps.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I got a Loch Ness monster to chase away.
Dad? What happened to Jason? Will it happen to us?
Oh right, I forgot those two were related. Not that it matters, because no one really stands out to me as interesting. And that's even when they try to explore how Nathan's workaholic habits disrupt his relationship with Dawn. But it only serves to remind us that Nathan was playing God before, and that led to one person dying. Boring! Hansen learns from the helicopter guy, Jack, that he's ex-military who helped Drake steal from a casino. Red flags in most other situations, but on an island with a mega Komodo, the good guys need all the help they can get. We also learn why Foster was taking part in the experiment.
Catalyst is my baby. Thought of it about 10 years ago. I was watching this old monster movie called Dinosaur Island. Did you ever see it?
No.
It was a good movie. In the middle of it, I was thinking, man-eating creatures make a great weapon.
Yeah, I think Malcolm would like a word with you.
I'll tell you the problem with the scientific power that you're using here. It didn't require any discipline to attain it. You read what others had done, and you took the next step. You didn't earn the knowledge for yourselves, so you don't take any responsibility.
Anyway, the newly infected guy, Reese, isn't doing so well.
I used to get it all the time. Don't worry, it's not fatal.
Don't yank me, man.
No. I had it when I was a kid. Athlete's face. You just take it easy. I went outside to get some fresh air.
Yeah, maybe don't leave your gun with the dead weight. You don't know what he'll do. Meanwhile, Nathan and Don collect the data they need for the mission. But because they think Foster is up to no good, they make duplicates of the intel. Hanson and Jack try restarting the generator since it burned out, but they only have a half hour of power left, so they have to prepare themselves. They cover the windows with black sheets to hopefully keep the Komodo from seeing the light. Jim, it's not a frickin' dinosaur. You don't need to use the sound effects for it. But nothing happens for a few minutes, so they dink around a bit. And then Tiffany goes to check on Reese. And guess what happens?
What was that?
Oh, I see. So Jason got to die right away, while Reese becomes more like a stalker zombie. And oh look, he has that gun Drake left earlier. Now he can be like Bub from Day of the Dead. Of course, he doesn't really use it. In fact, he just walks out of the house, goes past the women, and goes right up to Drake. Who, by the way, doesn't know this is happening until the zombie is right up to his face. And then the Komodo shows up and eats Reese. They fire on it again, which does nothing. But thankfully it leaves after being annoyed long enough. I'm starting to think that this movie is incredibly dumb. Well, everyone else survives the night, and here's where Tiffany expresses her wishes to live a normal life for once. Drake agrees.
You're pissed.
Yeah, I am. When are we gonna give this up?
Give what up? Money? Oh, come on, we live a good life.
That's not living, Drake.
What, do we have a little house in the suburbs, huh? White picket fence? Come on, that's not you. It's not us.
I'm tired of running. I'm tired of looking over my shoulder. I want to know what normal's like for a change. I want to be happy.
All right. This is it then. When we get home, we'll retire.
Good luck getting past the feds. Nathan tries talking to Foster about getting help, but he's gonna send his men at nightfall. But surprise, surprise, he's not going to extract his team. He's sending over the bombers. But that's alright. Jack reveals that the helicopter didn't break, so they can now get out of here.
You really think your chopper can hold all of us?
Nope. But if we're real lucky, we might lose a couple along the way.
Are you sure you're a good guy? I know Drake's group tried to rob a casino and they murdered a guy, but it sounded like they were willing to stop. Or whatever. Let's just see how badly they botched their escape over the next half hour. Two down. The rest hide out in the shack and talk for a bit. It sounds like Nathan is going to settle down with his group once this is over. Shouldn't be too hard. Wait, how did you get infected. Yeah, there was a bit of saliva on you, but from getting tail swiped? Bigger question is why the Komodo didn't eat you while everyone else was running. Guess we'll never know. So I'm guessing Nathan ain't getting out of this alive. He expresses his fondness of his daughter as a reminder of happy times, but that's it. Meanwhile, Foster prepares his fleet to go carpet bomb the island with napalm. As the main cast arrives at the helicopter, they run into the Komodo. But there still needs to be a final battle. Nathan decides to suicide bomb the creature with an explosive just as he gets eaten. Because as we all know, the only way to destroy a giant monster from these sci-fi movies is to blow them up from the inside. At least it was quick and painless. Unlike Jaws 3D. Of course, Drake forgets to take the bag of money he had. And while it sounded like Jack would give him 5 minutes to recover the loot...
What about Drake?
I gave the man 5 minutes.
No, you didn't! But seriously, he shouldn't have taken this long. The movie just wanted to stall for time until the fighter jets come over and bomb everything to smithereens. So long story short, the heroes still have duplicates of the data that Foster wanted to destroy. And they somehow make it back to the mainland, and their return is put on the news. At least that's what they say. And in a moment that I think would inspire Neil Breen's fateful findings, Foster commits suicide when he learns that his secret projects are about to be exposed.
I can't believe you committed suicide. I cannot believe you committed suicide.
As for Drake, he's okay, but not for long. I guess running into the ocean was out of the question. But yeah, that's Curse of the Komodo. Pretty unremarkable. But this is way ahead of some of the other stuff we've covered so far. On a technical level, this was competently made. CG aside, the lighting and camera shots were well done, especially given what kind of budget this movie had. I also like the locations, which genuinely look like what the movies say they were. The military bases look like military bases, and the same could be said of the deserted island. The special effects are also better made than what's seen in Nessie and Me, or the Doggone movies, but sadly the writing didn't do it for me. There isn't a lot of characterization going on. It's just a generic cast for a silly action horror movie where a giant lizard eats people. Fun fact, Jim Wynorski was also shooting another movie called Treasure Hunt while working on Curse of the Komodo. They even reference it as the name of the reality show that Drake mentioned. If breasts are a cheap special effect to him, then recycling locations is money saving. I suppose this only goes to show that no matter how many movies you churn out, you'll only get lucky at least once. Wynorski was best left in the chopping mall where he belonged. Who knows what else I'll find in his sci-fi backlog, but I'm sure they won't be any different from this one. I'm the Media Hunter. Media's my prey, and reviewing them my way.